Hi everyone, it's Marissa, aka Celeste Orchid. I'm showing you the creation of my Lili cosplay. This is Lili from Tekken Tag 2. It's created by Shunya Yamashita, and it's also a Kotobukiya statue. So let's get started. So first I used the remnants of my Mima cosplay to make this costume. I cut up a lot of the weirdly cut strips of fabric, or the weirdly cut parts of the white fabric to make a long strip and basted it so it would become the ruffle of the skirt. I cut a layer of the pink skirts from the Mima skirt and I didn't use it, so now I used it in this one. So it's already attached to another material that I had, the hot pink. And now you can see I'm just box ruffling the bottom of hem of the skirt. And then I had to add a second layer of ruffles. And there it is. There's the second layer of ruffles. And you can see like it has really good anime drawing look of ruffles, thank God. And this took forever. But now here comes the nice little waistband. I am just attaching it just with a normal stitch and it's already hemmed, so no fraying there. I top stitched the bottom layer ruffles, but I didn't do the top because I really wanted it to I guess just stay ruffly without losing its shape. And I mean, you have to iron it a lot. So here I am sewing the waistband. And sewing waistbands aren't hard. If you want me to help you with a tutorial on that, let me know. But this is just a review of what I've made. Make sure I remove your pins. Here I am sewing the side of the skirt closed, and this is where I'm going to be adding a zipper. I sewed the side seam first because I wanted the ruffles to match, and I didn't want to have a hard time with the zipper and the ruffles not matching, so this ensures it's staying in place. Here I'm just sewing the zipper along that seam, pushing the seam open and sewing across it. Afterwards, you just do it on the other side. So you have a matching lying zipper, so you don't have to worry about it mismatching and giving you any problems. And then of course go back and make sure that you reinforce the edge of the zipper so it doesn't pop open. I know that I'm a little bit rough with my zippers, but that's okay. Alright, anyways, cut open that seam that you made, that first initial seam, where the zipper starts and ends, and then you'll have a nice little zipper thing. And make sure to pull out any extra threads so it's done and it looks nice. Here I'm just reinforcing that seam like I said. And ta-da! That's where our zipper is. It's so beautiful, it's so majestic, yay! Oh, so the next part of the waistband had this little white strip. So I made a white strip and I accomplished using a buttonhole maker. I will be using buttons in my it's not a tutorial, but in my video, so I'm just lining it up and I'm pinning it, and then I'm sewing it. Easy as peasy, right? I just made sure that the buttonhole overlapped where the button was going, and then I hand stitched that, but I machine stitched everything else with the same white thread. And here, you can see my awesome buttonhole skills. And I need to trim a little bit, but it looks good and the zipper works functioning with the lining and it looks amazing. I'm so proud of myself. And that is the skirt. Finito! AKA done. So voila! Skirt done. Took me forever. Here I'm pattern drafting the top. The top is a little bit of a strange wannabe made bra thing. So I used tape and fabric and I outlined it in a Sharpie. And I'm using my dress form. My dress form doesn't really fit me that well, but it works. So I did get the shape that I wanted. So just cut out that pattern that you made and make sure it can lay flat when it goes to the fabric and cut out all the pieces. So I cut out 3 pieces. I have the front, the back, and the booby cup. I didn't want to call it a booby cup, but there's no better way to call it. But yeah, so usually while I'm sewing or working on things, I'm watching YouTube. So if you have any YouTube shows that you want to watch, you should be watching mine! And so there's me cutting out the rest of the pattern. So at the bra part, I'm no, it won't lay flat, so I already made cuts into it, and I know that. I cut open the straps, and then I mark which piece is which, so I don't forget. And I make pattern markings like cut on fold or cut to, and make sure you say what is what. And this is what it looks like. This is that same hot pink material, but I have weird lighting right here. I don't know why. And by godly, it is awful using pins on this. I should have used pattern weights or some kind of weight, but I had to like throw away those pins. They're now in a pin cushion for like disabled pins. So just go ahead and cut out those pieces. Here I am cutting it out. It's kind of funny, the duct tape method. I learned that from Kamui Cosplay. And I mean, a lot of other people have used it too, so it's not just someone's. It's like a crafter's best thing. And let me tell you, the duct tape method, it's good, but holy crap, removing pins. I accidentally stabbed myself really hard, and I was bleeding really hard. So this costume has had blood faulties on it. And here I am. There's the finished pieces, and this is where I wish I gave it an extra inch or two on the front versus the back. It was a little bit short. Regardless, here we are. I'm adding the second layer of trim, not trim, but ruffles to the top. So the top has ruffles, the bottom has ruffles, everyone's got ruffles. I originally sewed only one ruffle to the sleevey shoulder thingy, the strap, and I didn't like it, so I removed it and then I added 2 layers of ruffles just to give it a better illusion of like super made, because it just fell flat. So I sewed on the lining and then I got to this problem of the sleeves, and the sleeves I couldn't figure it out. So I learned about hem tape. JK, I always knew about hem tape. It's like thin glue paper for sewing. And so I didn't want any seams to be visible, and this was no exception. So I used hem tape and I just ironed it down. And make sure to test your fabrics because I almost burned my costume. The pink is like the worst thing in the world. So this is the leftover white that I have left because of all the white I had to cut for the ruffles. Now I'm cutting out the booby cut part, and if you can see on my pattern, there's like a little notch out of the pattern, and that's so it can lay flat, and I'll make sure to sew that together later. I'm cutting a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I cut 2 of them. So yay! This is me sewing 2 of the pieces together to make it not see-through and nice and covered. But first I'm serging it. So I'm serging it together and then I will pin it to my bodice. So I gotta figure out which way it was because this is like the weirdest shape. And you know, sometimes when you make your own pattern and it's not so obvious, it's kind of sucky. So this is what it looks like sewn together, but I really want to make the bralette stand a little bit better. But I need to add the details. So I'm using this white and pink lace, and I like how it like ruches together, but it's too thick compared to my reference. So what I'm gonna do is fold it over and sew it. I'm using a zigzag stitch to keep everything in place so it doesn't like ruffle too much, and it's like one solid piece. And then I gathered it, sewed it, and then I'm hiding the seam with another piece of ribbon. And I'm just taking my time, making sure that everything is very clean and crisp. So even though this video is like sped up, it's really slow. It took me forever. And ta-da! It's so beautiful. Like, I'm very proud of it. Some of the smaller ribbon piece is flipping upward, so I'm just gonna hand tack that down. Now I'm hand tacking down my front closure, aka a giant snap. A giant snap. Okay, I can't snap. That sucks. Okay. I took my time sewing the snap on, making sure that it was extremely secure. And this is what it looks like done. The snap is now part of the top, and I just need to sew the red ribbon to cover the top part of it. Luckily, I had some red ribbon left over from a previous project, so it'll cover just the right amount of space. Where's the... Oh my god. I can't... I don't know what happened to my footage. Still can't believe I lost the footage of me making the armbands, the leg bands, the neck piece, and the choker ascot thing. But here is me with the boots on some PVC material. This material is the devil because it does not stretch. So warning to those who think that PVC is the greatest fabric, it is not. So I'm actually using my husband's guitar pedals as weights because I don't see anything else that is small enough to keep it weighted down. And those are pretty heavy. And I just put a 1/2 inch seam allowance to make sure that it has enough space for it to get on my foot. I wouldn't say stretch because it can't stretch. It just does not do that. And if it does, it's going to like peel like crazy, so I don't recommend that. The way I made my boot covers was the same way I made my top pattern. I covered my foot while I was wearing the shoes I wanted with tape and paper, and I cut it out and made the pattern off of that. I definitely do not recommend anyone wearing pants while doing this, and make sure that you have a nice pair of small scissors that you can use while cutting it out. It was a little bit of a challenge cutting it off of me, so maybe have someone else do it for you. But overall, I'm very satisfied with my pattern, and I didn't have to make too many tweaks to it. With the boots done, here is my final transformation. I love the challenge that I gave myself. This has been a dream cosplay of mine, and to do it on such a free budget, like zero cost budget, is really invigorating. I got to use a lot of the fabric scraps that I had, leftover fabrics from other materials, cosplays, and it's such a great outcome. All the buttons were from a grab bag that I got years ago for a different cosplay. The ribbon is used from a different one. I created the checker fabric for the ascot, and guess what? That little pin was actually created from a leftover box. So overall, I am so proud of myself making this cosplay. So I actually wanted to challenge myself again, just like the Mima outfit. I knew that I had enough fabric for the Mima outfit, which looks like this, if you hear. But this time I wanted to use the remnants of every other fabric that I owned, so I don't have to buy anything for this costume. I did not want to go out and spend any extra money on this cosplay because, by God, I have way too much fabric, way too much materials, and leftovers. So my biggest idea was to make a cosplay from scratch with all the materials that I have. I wanted to show you like the remnants of all of the fabric that I used, and first and foremost was the white fabric. This is it. It is just scraps of ribbon trim. The majority of the pink. I only had like a yard and a half of this material, but this is it. This is all of it. This is like all of the usable stuff that's left, and I'm very proud that I used as much as I can. And the last but not least is the pink underlying material, and that is this! So this is all that's left! Yay! Because that's what you need to know and why I made this. I have loved this outfit for a long time. I've been wanting to make it, and I don't think I had the skills back then. I mean, I did, but I didn't think I could make it like as properly as I wanted. I did a very good job. I have like very small scraps left. I actually added my own flair to it by adding double ruffles here on the shoulders. The single ruffle just looks so plain, so I went back and added a double ruffle. The ruffles are 2 pieces of fabric. It's not just one. I made the saddest version of the cuffs. This is the first version of the cuffs, and I was really disappointed when I wore it. It did not make me really happy, so I went back. But yeah, this is what the armbands look like. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to just talk to me, leave a comment down below. That's all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share my video if it really helped you out. Talk to you later in my next video, and make sure you watch it. Bye!